What's up, guys? It's Gemman1 here, back with another video, and today we're going to be doing the top 5 dynamic duos of all time, and I might do just like current too as well. Considering like there's a bunch of trades in the off season and people signed to new teams and stuff, so I'm just gonna explain maybe for the new season and of all time, like eventually. So I'm gonna start off of all time. I'm gonna start for number 1. I think it's Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen because, of course, they both won 6 rings with each other, and their team chemistry was insane. It was just like the dominance of like Pippen's lockdown defense, and then Michael Jordan scoring and his defense as well, and it was just perfect. Like, no one could really stop it. It was like the most insane, like, dynamic duo possible for their time back in the day, because usually the duos back then were like a small guy and a big guy, or 2 big guys, but it was a small forward and a shooting guard, which wasn't really that, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, it wasn't really that, like, popular, or like it didn't happen often, as you can say. So in my opinion, I'm gonna put them for number 1 because, of course, 6 rings and stuff. So for number 2, you could put a lot of people at this spot, but I'm gonna put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, specifically for the fact that, of course, Kareem, the best scorer of all time, pretty much, most points of all time, MVPs, and then Magic, who's the best point guard of all time. I put Kareem top 3 of all time. I put him number 3, but Magic, it was untouchable. He was a 6'9" point guard. He could play any position. He could guard any position. All the flashy passes he does, like the pick and roll with him and Kareem was just insane. Of course, I wasn't alive and I didn't get to see them live, but if we're going by numbers specifically and highlights, I don't see anyone besides Pippen. Pippen and Jordan above them. So yeah, and a lot of people might disagree with this because there's like number 3 and number 4. All right, so number 3, I'm gonna put Kobe and Shaq, and that's for the specific reason that the only reason I put Magic and Kareem above them is because, as we all know, Kobe and Shaq aren't, like, they weren't the best friends. They didn't work with each other the best, I guess you can say. They were amazing working with each other, but like I feel like if you were to put a 2-on-2 of Shaq and Kobe versus Kareem and Magic, I feel like Kareem and Magic would win. Like if they played 50 times, I feel like Kareem and Magic would win like 35 of those, if you want me to be completely honest. Because a lot of people think that Kobe and Shaq might be number 1, but like, I don't know about that. Of course, an amazing duo. They won 4 rings with each other. No, 3 rings with each. Yeah, 3 rings, because Shaq won 1 on the Heat. But yeah, so I'm gonna put that as my number 3 spot. For my number 4 spot, I'm gonna put, this might sound weird, I'm gonna put LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Like I said, for this, like, the team chemistry, they won 2 rings with each other. Amazing duo. Of course, they're best friends. But that's the only thing. They've only won 2 rings with each other. They didn't play with each other for the longest time, which kind of has a effect on it, I guess you can say. But like, yeah, they definitely have to be up there, of course, because I don't understand how you could not put them up top 5 at least. So yeah, that's gonna be number 4. Number 5. So this was between 2 choices of mine. It was John Stockton and Karl Malone, and Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. But I'm gonna go Larry Bird and Kevin McHale for the simple fact that Malone and Stockton never won a ring with each other. People say that Stockton and Malone were the best, like, pick and roll dynamic duo of all time. But yeah, they just never won a ring with each other. So that's what I take away from them a little bit, because McHale and Bird won a ring. So I can't really take that away from them. So the reason why I put, of course, Larry Bird, I put him number 6 on my list of best players of all time. And he was a knockdown three-point shooter, amazing defender. People like to discard the fact that he was a really good all-around player as well. He could drive to the rim. He could do mid-range shots. He could pretty much do everything. He could rebound. But people like to discard that from Larry Bird. And Kevin McHale, of course, not the best player, but his team chemistry with Larry Bird was one of the best, like, of all time, of course, considering, like, amazing rebounder, not the best shooter. He could shoot from the mid-range a little bit. Paint protector, I guess you can say. Not too tall, but it didn't really matter back then. And, I mean, it kind of did, but it didn't really matter. Like, back then, we're the 80s, they didn't really matter. And, yeah, that's going to be my top 5 of all time. And now I'm going to get to this season coming up. Number 1. See, between 2, of course, Lakers and Clippers. But I'm giving it to the Clippers because, of course, Kawhi just came off that ring, beating the Warriors in 6, and it was just an amazing playoff series for him, like, an amazing playoff. Like, his whole playoffs was just historical. Like, you could say that was one of the best playoff run by a single player of all time, in my opinion. You could say that. But, yeah, he was basically untouchable this last season. And, of course, he played out Giannis. Like, Giannis was up 2-0 on him, and Kawhi basically just came back from that fact. He started to lock down Giannis and a bunch of different stuff. Like his teammates were good as well, and now I'm going to talk about Paul George. Of course, he got out first round in 5 by Damian Lillard and McCollum. But he was running for MVP this year, and I'm not going to take that away from him. He had an amazing season. In my opinion, he like, Kawhi and Paul George is like the best defending duo in the whole league. Like, they're amazing two-way players. They could do pretty much everything. Yeah, I'm not expecting them to. Actually, yeah, I'm expecting them to win the finals this next year. In my opinion, I think they're gonna win the whole thing, especially because they have Lou Will and coming off the bench, of course, and everything. So for number 2, I'm gonna put LeBron and Anthony Davis for a simple fact. I put Kawhi and Paul George above them because LeBron is slowing down a little bit. I'm not saying he is a lot. Of course, he's still amazing, one of the best players in the world, of course. But of course he didn't make the playoffs. I know he was hurt and his point guard was hurt, but yeah, still an amazing player. And of course, Anthony Davis, he didn't get that much playing time because he requested a trade last year, I think. And so yeah, that's why I can't really, from the season last year, I can't really put the Lakers above the Clippers for the simple fact that the Clippers dynamic duo, their season was amazing. But of course, Anthony Davis, one of the best big men in the league. In my opinion, he could be top 2 in the league. And of course, LeBron, I put him top 2 players in the league. But Yeah, that's really good. Like that's amazing, pretty much. And for number 3, this might sound weird. This might sound really weird, actually. I'm gonna put Giannis and Chris Middleton. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds weird, but to me, it works perfectly for Giannis, who amazing defender, amazing rebounder. He can attack the rim, like pretty much that. No, he can attack the rim like how nobody else can do it in the league. In my opinion, he's like the best, like basically slasher in the league. Like he can drive to the rim with no effort, pretty much, and no one can stop him, except for Kawhi. But yeah, basically, and he's just amazing. And then for him, who doesn't have the best jump shot, to have a dynamic duo next to him, as in Chris Middleton, who can hit the 3. He had his first All-Star this year. Congrats. But like in my opinion, like I know that it was last year's dynamic duo too. It didn't trade this year or anything, but in my opinion, that's top 3 for sure. Number 4, I'm gonna put Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. And you might think I'm like biased because I'm a Blazers, like I got a Blazers comforter back there, but like you might think I'm biased and stuff that I put him over Harden and Russell, but I'll explain why. So, Damian Lillard, of course, the clutchest player in the NBA right now, the most loyal player in the NBA right now. In my opinion, the second best point guard in the league right now. He is just amazing. He can hit the 3. He can drive. He can attack the rim. He can create his own shots. He can do pretty much everything except for like pass. That's not his best like attribute, I guess you could say. But he's really like he's a threat. That's a fact. So like. And then for his dynamic duo, CJ McCollum, who's one of the best shooting guards in the league, he can, he could hit the 3. He loves his little fadeaway or pull up mid range. He loves his floater. Like in my opinion, they work perfectly for a point guard and a shooting guard dynamic duo. I think it will work out. And yeah, that's why I put them at number 4. And for number 5. I'll put honorable mentions at the end, but for number 5, I put Harden and Westbrook. And the reason why you probably wondering like why I didn't put them higher. They're both amazing players, and I give them both like a lot of credit. They are horrible off-ball players. So if you have Russell Westbrook running the point and he wants to get his triple-double because he's a stat stacker, he will want to score. And then Harden's just going to be standing there like that, wanting the ball. And he wants to shoot. He wants to do everything. Because Harden has that Kobe mentality. He wants to score. And Russell Westbrook, the only thing that I can give to him is that, of course, he goes for triple-double, so he'll try to get assists to Harden on the spot-up, but Harden's not a spot-up shooter. He wants to create his own shot. Of course, he has that signature step-back and stuff, so I honestly... And, of course, let's say Harden's running point guard one game or so. Westbrook's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to stand there and wait for the ball to come to his hands, and he's not going to do anything. He just wants, like I said, he just wants to score and get assists and rebounds. That's all he wants to do. At this point, I don't even know if he even wants, to win that bad anymore. Of course he wants to win, but, in my opinion, I don't think he really wants to win that bad anymore. Because when Paul George left, he had to leave. There's no way it could stay. So, he left, and... yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, Russell, of course, Harden is like an amazing, like, in my opinion, top 6 player in the league. I put him number 6, I think. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for my list. Oh yeah, and it's also the team chemistry. Lillard and McCollum have way better team chemistry than Harden and Westbrook, for the simple fact Harden used to play with Westbrook in the Thunder when KD was leading the team, right? And this is when Harden was like a 6-man and he came off the bench to hit threes. This is not the same Harden anymore. I feel like Westbrook will know how to play with the old Harden, but he won't know how to play with the new Harden. Because Harden is a way different player now. He doesn't play anything like how he used to. Like, he wants to take over. That's his thing. He wants to take over. He wants to do it. Whew. I just don't think it's really going to work. And I got honorable mentions. So, one honorable mention, I guess you could... So, it's 2 for the Warriors. It's Curry and Clay, and then Curry and D'Angelo. Those are 2 honorable ones. You can say Jimmy Butler and Justice Winslow. You can say Zion and Drew Holiday. You can say you could say Jokic and Jamal Murray. You can say Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. And you can say a lot of those. I don't think Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, because I think Joel Embiid needs shooters on his team, but to complement him, that's how he plays. But yeah, like Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. You could have Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry. Who else? You could have Kemba Walker and I don't know. Who cares about the Celtics anymore? Oh, shoot. Okay. Go back to my top 5. I totally forgot about this duo. Take away the Rockets. Put in the Nets. Move the Nets above the Blazers. And move the Nets above the Bucks. So the Nets are going to be number 3 for me. I've totally forgot. My bad, y'all. But the Nets are going to be number 3 for me. Of course, KD's hurt. He won't be back till later in the season. But of course, I think they're going to work perfectly. Like, Kyrie will dribble up the court. He'll have the handles. He'll give the nice dishes. And then KD will want to create his own shot, of course. And I think it's going to work really well. Like, once he comes back, of course, we don't know if KD will be his own self again when he comes back, but I think he will, considering it's just an Achilles. He didn't, like, break his leg. But, like, an Achilles is still pretty bad. So, yeah, I'm going to put, Clippers number 1, Lakers number 2, Nets number 3, Bucks number 4, and Blazers number 5. And, yeah, that's going to do it for the lists. And yeah, so comment down below what's your list and what you agree with, like what of my list you agree with. So yeah, that's all for me. Thank you for watching and peace out.